the active component or active element. Now, among this active and passive elements, passive part is the resistances. R1, R2, R3, the resistances that we are talking about, that is our passive elements. Okay, so a circuit consists of active elements and passive elements. Now, coming to what a series circuit is. From the diagram, you can see that three resistances are connected back to back. Okay, one after another, starting and ending, then ending of one is connected to starting of another, then ending of another is connected to starting of another. Like this, it forms a one by one connection, which is also known as, sometimes they call as end to end connection. Okay, so a series circuit is one in which several resistances are connected one after another. Such connection are also called end to end connection. There is only one path for the flow of current. Now, as from the diagram you can see, the entire loop means, in this electric circuit, if we apply Ohm's law is nothing but V equals to IR. So V equals to IR, if we apply in this circuit, then for each of the voltage drops across each of the resistances R1, R2, R3 separately, we will be having voltage drops V1, V2 and V3. Anyone has any questions why I am again turning is V1, V2, V3? Because already we have the cell voltage V. Okay. So anyone has any questions regarding that? What is V1, V2, V3? No. Okay. You see, whenever there will be an active element which gives the supply of voltage, there are the passive elements which dissipates the voltage. Okay, so voltage drop will be occurring across each of the passive elements R1, R2, R3, and those values of the voltage drops are V1, V2 and V3. Okay, so these three voltages can be represented in form of Ohm's law, that is V1 equals to IR1, V2 equals to IR2 and V3 equals to IR3. These three are the voltage drops, and let me tell you, this capital V, which is the supply voltage active element, that V is equals to the sum of all the voltage drops across each of the passive elements. That is, capital V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Are you getting my point? Anyone has any questions till now? Okay. So, moving to this part, that according to Ohm's law, capital V equals to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. They are taking the summation, so the equivalent resistance actually becomes the summation. So in series circuit, the equivalent resistance we get by adding up R1 plus R2 plus R3, adding these three, we get the series resistance. You see, R1, R2, R3 is in series and back to back connection, end to end connection. So like that, if we want to calculate the total equivalent resistance of the circuit, then we will be adding this up. So that is why the total according to voltage drop, capital V is equals to I multiplied by R1 plus R2 plus R3, and applying Ohm's law to the overall circuit, capital V is equals to I R equivalent, where R equivalent is equivalent resistance circuit. Okay, so by comparing, we can just put the value that R equivalent value is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, so now this part we calculate that for n number of resistances, R equivalent will be equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus dot 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 plus Rn. Okay, so This is the characteristics of the series circuit that we are just undergoing. Remember, the characteristics are extremely important because not for theory, but the concept for the problems, it is very much needed. Okay, so the same current flows through each of the resistance. Remember this. In case of series circuit, look at the diagram. Look at the diagram. In case of series circuit, voltage that is being produced, supplied, the active element that is with energy source, voltage source that is supplying, or the battery that is supplying the entire source or supply of power to the circuit, that voltage source, from the positive end, the current that is being created, that is going, the current goes I, and the same current I comes back to the negative supply. So the same current is flowing, but the voltage drops across the resistances are different in case of series circuit. Now, as we will move on to the parallel circuit, this will just be the opposite. We'll see that till now current is same in series circuit. Same current flows through if it is a series circuit. Okay, just let it in your means just pin it on your brain that it is like this. Till now, anyone has any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. What is voltage? What is current? What is resistance? I think by now everyone is clear. So now onwards, while we are going onto the circuits, the problems, this will be in a very connective mode. Like everything is connected with each other. Means whatever the lessons we have done before, and this today's lesson and the next lesson, all these are connected. Okay, so if you skip one, you will not be able to understand. So that is why now series circuit, we know that current flows that is same and voltage drops are different. So the next characteristic says that the supply voltage is the sum of the individual voltage drops across the resistances. Yes, we saw that also, that capital V is equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus dot 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 Vn. That means the supply voltage is the one that is supplying the voltages to all other resistances. Okay. Now, the next one, the equivalent resistance is equal to the sum of the resistances. Yes, again we saw that R equivalent is equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So that means in series circuit, resistances, total equivalent resistances, we what if we want to calculate, we will add all the resistances. This is only in series circuit, not in parallel. Okay, so in series circuit, what are the things we observe in case of voltage, current and resistance? Current remains same. Voltage is the addition of the supply, all individual voltages. Summation gives the supply voltage. Equivalent resistance is equals to the sum of the individual resistances, and equivalent resistance is the largest of all the individual resistances. That obviously it is the summation, so it will be large. So R, capital R, will be definitely greater than individual R1, R2, R3 or Rn. Okay. Till now, everyone clear? Till now, any questions? Anybody? No. Now I am moving on to the parallel circuit. So this is all about series circuit. Okay. Parallel circuit. So this is an example of parallel circuit. Now this could be a straight line. This could be like this trapezoidal, as I have as I have shown here, or this could be anything else. Okay. So do not think that if it is not connected like this, it is not parallel circuit. Parallel circuit connection is only you will see if it is connected to common one node. Multiple circuits are connected with common nodes, then that means it is parallel circuit. Okay. So the parallel circuit is one in which several resistances are connected across one another in such a way that one terminal of each is connected to form a junction point, while the remaining ends are also joined to form another junction point. You see two junction points are there. So the resistances are connected. The starting of resistance is connected to one junction point, ending of the resistances is connected to another junction point. Okay. So this is an example of parallel circuit. Okay. So in parallel circuits, what do we see? Just see carefully the diagram. You can draw the diagram as well. For the series circuit, it was back to back. Okay. It was end to end or back to back. Now in parallel circuits, all of them are connected parallelly and the starting and ending point, junction points are the same. So what happens? V is the supply voltage and it supplies the current I. Now I gets splitted up into three components, I1, I2, I3, and that I1, I2, I3 again adds up in the end point and it is again coming back as I to the negative terminal, right? So here, as we can see, that R1, R2, R3 are the three values of resistances. So will the equivalent resistance here be addition? No, it will not be addition if you want to have equivalent resistance. So just let us observe what is coming. First, as usual, we'll apply Ohm's law. Applying Ohm's law, we get that voltage. Okay, let me just tell you this thing. The voltage that is applied, V, is that being divided, because in series we saw that voltage was divided into the dissipated among the resistances, V1, V2, V3, like V1, V2, V3. So here what happens? The voltage that is applied at that point with the cell V, that is going to the 2 points, as you can see, the two junction points through which the three resistances R1, R2, R3 is connected. So these 2 points are where the voltage is applied. That means voltage across R1, voltage across R2, and voltage across R3 are the same voltage. That means in parallel circuits, voltage remains same in parallelly connected resistances. So voltage across, or rather V1 is V1 across R1, V2 across R2, V3 across R3 are the same. That is V1 is equals to V2 is equals to V3. That is equals to capital V. Are you getting my point? Any questions about the why the voltages are same? Anyone? Okay. I'll proceed, because next, if you do not understand, that will be a problem. So ask question, let the session be interactive. Okay. So V1, V2, V3, that means it is not written here. Obviously, I'm talking about the voltage across R1, R2, R3. They are the same because it is parallel, and the end points of the 2 points through which all the resistances are connected, the voltage V is applied across that only. So that is why in parallel circuit voltages will be same. So if the voltages will be same, I'll just go through this so that you can understand. In a parallel circuit, current passing through each resistance is different. You see, I1, I2, I3 is different. Okay, so in a parallel circuit, current passing through each resistance is different. Let the total current drawn is I, capital I. It is shown. Okay, there are three paths for this current. Capital I has got three paths. Okay, what are these? I1, I2, I3. Okay, I1, I2, I3 are the paths. So these individual currents are shown as I1, I2, I3. I1 flows through R1, second through R2, and the third through R3. These are the individual currents shown. Now, the voltage across two ends of each resistances R1, R2, and R3 is same and equals the supply voltage capital V. Hence, applying the Ohm's law, obviously, I hope you this is what I was talking. The voltage across the two ends of the resistance are same. The two ends of the resistances are same. You see, the two points, junction points are same of R1, R2, R3. So the voltage will also obviously be same. Now, if the voltage is same, that means the voltage across two ends of each resistances R1, R2, and R3 is same and equals the supply voltage capital V. Hence, applying the Ohm's law, capital V is equals to I1 R1, capital V is equals to I2 R2, and capital V is equals to I3 R3. That is why I1 equals to V by R1, I2 equals to V by R2, I3 equals to V by R3. So if we are to find out the three currents, then also we'll have to go through Ohm's law. But obviously we see that capital I is the main current which is divided into I1, I2, I3. So obviously sum of I1, summation or addition of I1 plus I2 plus I3 is capital I, because that is divided into the three parts. So this is what is written here. But capital I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3 equals to V by R1 that we just got from here. V by R1, I1 is equals to V by I1, I2 is equals to V by R2, I3 equals to V by R3. So putting the values of I1, I2, I3, we get V into capital I equals to V into under bracket 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. So for overall circuit, the Ohm's law can be applied as capital V equals to I R equivalent. So I equals to V by R equivalent. So R equivalent becomes this here. Just be careful. R equivalent is not 1 by R1. 1 by R equivalent is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any questions, please ask. If you have any questions, if you do not understand, then please ask. Okay. So remember, 1 by R equivalent is equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. Not R equivalent is equals to 1 by inverse of the addition. Okay. So what will be inverse of the addition? That is inverse of the R equivalent. Okay. So I hope this much is clear to all. Then I will move on to the problems. Okay. So I'll just move on. I am having the parallel circuit problem. Okay, let us just go through the list of characteristics. In case of parallel circuit, this is the list of characteristics. The voltage or the potential difference across all the resistances in parallel circuit is the same. Yes, in case of Series, it was current that was same. In case of parallel circuit, it is the voltage or the potential difference that is the same. Next is the total current gets divided into number of paths. So that number of paths, that is equal to the number of resistances in parallel. So the total current is always the sum of all the individual currents. That is, capital I is equals to I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus dot 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 IN. That means, remember, in earlier series circuit, voltage drops were the summation. Capital V was equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Here currents are the summation. Okay, the reciprocal of the equivalent resistance of a parallel circuit is equal to the sum of the reciprocal of the individual resistances. Okay. The equivalent resistance is the smallest part of all the resistances. Here, this is just the opposite of a series circuit. In series circuit, the equivalent resistance was the greatest because it was summation of all the resistances. Here, the equivalence resistance is the smallest of all the resistance in parallel. Okay. The equivalent conductance of the is the arithmetic sum of the individual conductances. Obviously, conductance is the reverse of resistance. So here, conductance is the arithmetic sum, and resistance, equivalent resistance, is the inverse sum. Okay. So I hope this much everyone got understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. So I'll move on to the first problem. Let me just start with the series circuit problem. Do you have pen and paper?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just try to do this. I'll definitely help you, but try in your own if you can do this. I hope this is visible to you all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, just try. It is very easy.
Point 4166.
That is what the current.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see. So easiest of all. Mm, I think current like this you have calculated, right? 4166 you told.
Yes.
So it is 47 approximately. Fine. So along with that, the next question is the power dissipated. Okay. So the current is this, and what is the power? That is important. You see, the power that is calculated, they asked about the power dissipated in each resistor. So individual power dissipation we have to calculate. Now we can calculate using three formulas. You remember the three formulas of power I told? One is V into I, one is I square R, another one was V square divided by R. So here, why am I using this? I could have used others also, other formulas also, but that would have been longer one. Okay, because we know the total current I square I we know, so I square R1 value also we know. Once we know I, so we can use I square R formula. Are you getting my point? Why we are using this? Anybody not understanding question? Ask question. There is no issues in asking. You can ask. Okay, I'll give you some time to write this down if you are not written already. Is this okay? Written down, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, I'm just repeating once again. Individual power losses are calculated. As we know the value of I, we apply I square R1, then I square R2, then I square R3. Then the total power losses, the summation of all these three, just add up, you will find this value 104 watts. Now, however, using the formula P equals to VI, the other formula, we also get same result 104.25. You see, that is why it is verified whether it is correct or not. P equals to VI is almost the same as the total power loss, because we know that capital V is supposed to be equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Same, the power is also supposed to be the same. Capital P should be equals to P1 plus P2 plus P3. So that is why it is written in bracket that 104.25 watts, which is same as the sum of the total power loss. The difference of 0.25 watt is due to the round of error. Yes, we calculate, while calculating, we consider the decimal places after the decimal. So due to that round of error, it is not present. So it is verified, and this is how we calculate the power loss. Remember all the parameters that were taught in the previous class, like conductivity, conductance, power, then energy, then the rate of change of every, all of those can be asked in the problem. So all these are connected. Okay, I hope this is over. Everyone has written down. Can I move to the next problem?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay, fine. So let us just move. Now here I have a question for you. Okay. Um, just write this problem down for your homework. Okay. Just you can take a screenshot also if you do not want to write. You can take a screenshot. Make it full screen and you can take a screenshot, and uh, just keep this as your homework, for your homework. And let us discuss first how you will do this. Okay. So it says that a 20 ohm resistance is connected in series with an unknown resistance capital R. So this is unknown resistance capital R. Along with that, in series there is 20 ohm. See the diagram. So they say that, and the two connected across a 220 volt DC supply. The power loss in capital R is 50 watts. Find capital R. So how do you think it will be? You can share your ideas. Okay, I'll give you some hint. Okay, otherwise you can be getting confused. I'll tell you why. Okay, first, if you remember, while we were doing all the calculations of series and parallel circuit, we considered R equivalent. Remember, R equivalent, total equivalent resistance. So the total equivalent resistance will be the summation of these two, 20 plus R, because these are in series. Okay, so these are in series. That is why this will be the sum. So that why we are calculating that, because we want I we want to calculate. Why we want to calculate I? Because we want to calculate the power loss. Power loss is already given. So we have to make equations. We have to form equations of the power loss and current. Okay. So you consider any equivalent resistance as suppose RT or R equivalent like this, you consider that will be your 20 plus R. Okay, so 20 plus R is your R equivalent. You have got the value of V, which is equals to 220 volt. So what will be the value of I? Anyone? Anybody?
220
You can just
upon 20 plus R.
11.
Correct. 220, that is, we are simply applying Ohm's law. Okay, so if we apply Ohm's law, I will be equals to V by R. Now this R is the total equivalent resistance, okay, not individual ones. So again, okay, so this one will be our current. So current I will be 220 divided by 20 plus R, that is our I. Now if I get I, our I square R is given, not I square R, the power loss in R is given, right? So power loss in R will be what? I square R, means this R, not R equivalent, this R. So I square into this R, that means 220 divided by 20 plus R whole square into R is equals to 50. So this is your first equation. So you require only one equation because one parameter is required, capital R. So by solving this, you can get. Are you getting my point? Everyone? To everyone, my question is: are you getting this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can solve hopefully. Now, while solving, you will get another challenge. That also I'm telling you. Since this is your, I just told this is your homework. I'll just tell you that. Have you gone through? I'm sure you have gone through perfect square method or the Sridharacharya method of finding the roots of an equation. You remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So here the equation that you will be getting, that I just told, I square R equals to 50 watts, that equation you will be getting a complex one, means it will have two roots and the roots has to be calculated, means it will be the same Sridharacharya equation, ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0, that you'll have to solve. It is just same. So while doing this, you have to use that perfect square method. Okay, so that also I told you, try do not be confused when you got to that equation. It is just apply that. Okay, so this is my end of the class, should I say, because okay, I'll discuss one more parallel. Am I audible and this visible? Means am I both audible and visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So here is the next problem, which is parallel circuit problem. Okay. So the parallel circuit problem, you see three resistances are there. 750 ohm, 600 ohm, and 200 ohm. They are in parallel, and the total current is given as 1 ampere. Determine the voltage applied and the current in each branch. Let us see how it goes. So this is parallel. So what are the characteristics of parallel? Let us just remind that current is divided. So current I, main current is going, it is divided into I1, I2, I3 as we studied. Okay, so I1, I2, I3 are the different values across the three resistances. Currents are different in the three resistances. So the total current they have asked as 1 ampere. So sum of I1, I2, I3 is 1 ampere. But in parallel circuit, voltage is the same. So determine the voltage applied in each branch. So here goes the problem. Let V, capital V, be the supply voltage. The current through various branches are capital V divided by 750. Obviously, currents I1, I2, I3. Applying Ohm's law, we get V by 750, V by 600, and V by 200. Is it okay? Are you getting this? Why this is V by 750, V by 600?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Again. Okay. So the current through the various branches V by 750, V by 600, and V by 200 are the sum of the currents, and the sum of these currents is 1 ampere. Remember, these are not voltages, currents. If you see the value of V, that doesn't mean it is volts. V by 750 is not voltage, it is current I1. V by 600 is not voltage, it is current I2. V by 200 is not voltage, it is current I3. So I1 plus I2 plus I3's value is this as per the assumption, and their sum is equals to 1 ampere. So this is how the equation we are getting. Is this okay? Are you getting why this is done like that? So capital V is coming as 125 volts. Okay, 125 volts. We have been asked about determine the voltage applied and current in each branch. So the applied voltage we got this. The value of applied voltage is 125 volt. Now current through each branch. Current through each branch how? Current through each branch as the voltage divided by individual, just as the way we assumed. 125 by 750 means V by 750, V by 600, V by 200. Same. So is this clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'll just leave the class here today. Okay. Roll numbers I'll be getting from the recording itself. I just realized that people who left, I can able to track them. So I have this recording. I'll not take today's attendance. From the recording itself, it is more clear. So I'll leave here. Thank you, students. You can leave. I'm leaving, and I'm just stopping the recording.